Alright, so this video needs to be done. This video is probably going to be more beneficial to someone who's searching YouTube, not one of my subscribers, doesn't know who the hell I am, doesn't care who I am, just is looking for some answer. And if you search YouTube for Pastor Dowell cult or Pastor Dowell cult leader, I saw just a few videos, maybe 3 or 4 videos, hardly any views, of people basically saying this guy Pastor Dowell is a cult leader. He used to be affiliated with this guy RG something or another, and he was a pastor, and since he was affiliated with him, you know, 10 years ago or however long ago it was, he still is affiliated with them. And you know, is he a cult leader? And some of these people try to say yes, he's a cult leader, and here's why. And I'm noticing that nobody who is calling him a cult leader or saying he's affiliated with this other bad guy, RG, I can't remember his last name, something, he is a cult leader, and that's the end of the story. Well, I think it takes a person like me, who is an outsider to that community, to set the record straight. Because when I first heard of Pastor Dowell online, I heard of him on the internet. I was just browsing a website, you know, conspiracy website or something, I don't even remember, and someone said, you know, you wish your pastor was like this, and I clicked on it. It was a YouTube video. It was a picture or a video of him, Pastor Dowell, with a gun, an AR-15, talking about the importance of having a gun, why you need a gun, protect your family, the whole 9 yards. And I thought to myself, man, that's actually good to see a pastor of any church. You know, I didn't even know what religion he was, and I didn't care. I just saw that he was a pastor or whatever, and that's good. Man, that's good. I'm glad to see a pastor talk about that. I said, man, that's really cool. And he didn't sound like a pastor. He just sounded like a normal guy, you know, like me or something, on YouTube talking about this. But I did see his name on YouTube, Pastor Dowell. So I said, okay, so that's kind of cool. So I left it at that. Maybe a few weeks went by, 2-3 weeks, and something else came up where I was searching for something, and then I see his face on the right side on some other video. Again, not like preaching stuff. I was just like, huh, that guy again? So I click on it. I don't even know what it was about. It may have been about silver, or the importance of getting silver, physical silver, you know, silver and gold, and how it's going to protect you, and the financial collapse comes, and this and that. And I said, man, that guy again? This guy knows what the hell he's talking about. So after that point, I went ahead and hit subscribe. But I still did not know, is this guy, what kind of pastor is he, right? So I started looking around a little bit more. I actually made contact with him a couple times, and he replied back. And next thing I realized is, hey, he's got his own community on his own property, a bunch of acres. They all got houses. They live together, not together, but live in their own houses together with their own families. So in my mind, man, is this guy in a cult? That was the first thing that popped into my head. Man, is this guy in a cult? Is he like a cult leader or what? You know, but I was like, well, what? I don't know. So, you know, I didn't want to just flat out ask him. I just kind of decided to do my own investigative work. And I saw a few people bad-mouthing him on the internet on topics. But I kept noticing it was like the same 2 people over and over and over and over and over again. Like they're having their own conversation. Pages and pages of stuff, just bad-mouthing. And I'm like, this is interesting, because it's the same 2 people. And I've actually seen other people come on here and defend the guy, saying, hey, leave him alone. He's not like that. It's not a cult. It's not this. It's not that. The guy has a right to live the way he wants to live, and the people there aren't forced to stay there. They can live how they want to live, and if they like it, that's fine. So I'm like, huh. So I'm kind of confused, you know. So I get to talking to old Pastor Dowell a few times, and was explaining I'm into IT, you know, information technology, computers. I also have a little more extensive knowledge in other areas, security camera systems, remote, long distance wireless technology, like Wi-Fi for your laptop, but longer range. He was talking about wanting to broadcast live on a website, like to do like online church sermons and things like that. but his church was almost a quarter mile up a hill and on his property, this and that. And I'm like, well, I said, you know, if I was able to come out there, I'd be able to look at it and tell you what you need and all, you know, that kind of stuff. And he sent me pictures and stuff, and I was like, okay, well, that'll work. I got the equipment. I said, man, if you'll pay for my plane ticket, obviously, I'll come up and do it for free, that kind of thing. But actually, I take that back. Before that, I take that back. That was the second trip I made up there. The first trip, my wife and I and the kids, we were heading to New Jersey to visit some of her family. And I said, man, I bet we could just kind of skirt off to the left a little bit off track. We got to go up through Georgia anyways. Let's just kind of go off to Tennessee, because it's on the east or the right side of Tennessee where he lived. And my gut instinct is telling me, go check this guy out, see what it's about. And I said, well, I'll ask him if it would be okay if I came up and just spent a few hours with them. Maybe 2 or 3 hours. I don't want to spend the night or none of that. Just, and the way I worded it was, on purpose, was, hey, we're going to kind of be going through that area anyways to visit some in-laws. Man, would you mind if I just kind of stopped and chatted with you and hang out a little bit, brought the family? He said, that'd be just fine, man, come on up. So he gave me the address, gave me his phone number. Off we went about a week or two later, whatever it was. Told the wife, yeah, she said, let's do it. We were nervous. We didn't know what the hell to expect. Are they doing polygamy? Is he sleeping with all the wives? So we had no idea. That's why I purposely said to him in the email, well, we only probably have a couple hours to spare. You know, we'll just hang out for a couple hours. I don't want to invite myself into anything scary, right? You know, in my family. So we get up there, we make the trip. I knock on the door, and some people were like, oh, I know you. You're that guy on the internet, Jason M4, right? I said, yeah, that's me. Yeah, we watched some of your videos. I was like, oh, I didn't know that, but okay, cool. So I said, I'm looking for where Pastor Dowell. Oh, he's the first house right there. All right, so I knock on the door. He answers. I don't know if he gave me a hug or just shook my hand or whatever it was. I don't remember. But was real kind. The people in the community came over, said hi. We sat down at his house, started chatting for a little bit. Man, it was so quick that I realized this ain't like what you think. What people talk, the few people that talk crap about this guy on the internet probably have never spent a single day here in their lives. That was the first thought in my mind. I bet they had never spent a single day here in their lives. So I got first-hand knowledge now. I'm hanging out. Okay, this ain't what even my mind would tell me it could have been. Nah, this is way, way different, and in a good way. Good, I'm glad to see this. I see he has his own wife. Ain't no polygamy, okay, so he's separate. I see the other people there, men with their wives. I also see some single wives in their own houses. Okay, so I kind of sat back, relaxed a little bit, got to know him. We started talking a little bit. The wife and the kids went outside. Their kids were playing with other kids. Real nice people, extremely nice people. I felt really comfortable that quick letting my kids go with their kids, go have fun playing the playground over here, go by the stream with their kids. It's not like a dangerous stream, by the way, but there was adult supervision there anyways. But so I'm talking with him. Now it's just kind of me and him talking about stuff, and he's letting me, I'm like asking him questions about the community, because now my curiosity is like, I should ask a few things. And we're talking, and he's just telling me up front, and he's, we got to the point of like, the talk of, is there multiple wives thing, and he flat out said, man, if any man in this place messes with any other man's wife, they already know. They better not let anybody know, and they better run for their lives, because when the rest of us find out that they've been screwing around with someone else's wife, they're gonna wish they were off this property faster than we can catch them, or something like that. And he said, we don't roll that way here. This isn't some polygamy thing. This is a whole different thing. So I'm like, well, man, what religion are you? I mean, I don't understand. I mean, I guess obviously you're not Mormons, you're not Christians, I guess. What is it? He said, well, we are what he said he called Israelites. And I was like, I've never heard of that. What does that mean? Like, what is that? He said, the basic principle is that in the biblical times, it was the Israelites, that was the, God's people, that kind of thing. And they try to live their life as closest to the Bible as possible. So they feel like we were like the ancient Israelites. That's how we live our lives. No other religion can kind of even come close to describing that based off of the religions we all know today. Catholic Church, Christians, all other ones included, all the different flavors, the Baptist and Seventh-day Advent, all that stuff. He said this was just what we felt was our own thing. It's accurate to what the Bible is, so that's what we call ourselves. We want to be like the old Israelites, so that's what we are. So, well, okay, that actually makes some sense. I've never heard of that before, but that's interesting. So, of course, if you start researching Israelites on the internet, you'll hear of something called the Black Israelites. This is not in any way, shape, or form the same thing that Pastor Dowell is, and he will tell you that 100 times if he has to, until he's blue in the face. It is not the same thing. Other people got the idea and decided to call themselves racially Black Israelites, like no white people are allowed. And they've even called him and blasted him on the phone. Who the hell do you think you are? You're supposed to be some black guy. You ain't a Black Israelite. Who the hell do you think you are? All these white people on your place. And he says, I'll tell you flat out, there's more white people at my place than there are black people. And he's black. So number one, he can't be racial. Number two, it's not the same group as the Black Israelites. So he tells them, I don't even know why the hell you're calling me. I'm not the same as you guys. I don't do the same things. I don't preach the same way you guys. We are not the same. You call yourselves the Black Israelites. Do what you want. We are the Israelites. Leave me alone. Hang up. So I got to see firsthand. I spoke with them. I spoke to other people there. It was completely legit. I wasn't ready for that. I was waiting to see something. That's why I said I only want to stay a couple hours. I don't have any more time to spare. We're kind of on a tight schedule. Because I didn't want to upset him, prior to us coming up to make him think like I'm already thinking he's no good. I'm already thinking he's into stuff that I don't want to be involved in. Polygamy and weird religious stuff. I don't want to, I don't want to embarrass him because I've already asked him, can I come by? So I just played it cool by saying, just give me a couple hours. I only have a couple hours to spare. In other words, I ain't staying any longer. In case there's some freaky stuff going on, I'm out of here. And he wouldn't have thought any different because I already told him up front I only have 2 hours. So when we got there, I knew almost immediately the feeling I felt right off the bat. My wife felt, everybody felt, my family. Oh, this place is solid. These are good people. It's not what I was thinking it might have been. Thank God for that. Okay, I'm liking it. I'm liking it a lot. Matter of fact, I'm liking it a hell of a lot. He then invited us. I said, well, he's like, brother, I think it was like a Friday. So Saturday, Sabbath was when they do church. And man, we're doing it tomorrow. You guys are more than welcome to stay. And my wife was like, maybe we should. We were first thinking, no, let's go, right, in the beginning, and now it was like, man, I kind of like this place. I want to stay. I like these people. All right, we'll stay. And he said, listen, I've got a little place up here on the top of the hill. Doesn't have a bathroom, but it's got like a one-bedroom thing. It's got a little refrigerator and like some kind of little stove or something. I forgot what it was. There was a couple little things in there. He's like, it's not like what you might expect, but if you got to go to the bathroom, right there, right across the way, right there's the church. It's always open in the middle of the night. You can go in there. Breakfast, we'll have breakfast in the morning, that kind of thing. I said, all right, yeah. So Evelyn, my wife, yeah, it'll save us $100 in a hotel or so. Might as well. All right, cool. We stayed there. They brought some blow-up mattresses for the kids. We spent the night there. Woke up, had did breakfast and stuff. Went to church. Matter of fact, I can't think if we did breakfast or we just went to church and then we ate. One way or the other, whatever. Went to his church service. It was cool. Hey, this is different than the other church services I've ever seen and been to. So it was cool. I said, all right, man, I really like this guy, man. Damn, this guy's solid, man. This guy's a real human being. This guy ain't a fake. He's not fronting. He's not just some pastor. So and then I didn't know he was fully a pastor. I didn't know if he did other stuff part-time. So I'd asked him over dinner that night, the Friday night, and he said, well, over dinner tonight, let's talk about that. I'll tell you exactly what I do and how I did everything here. So he gave me the whole story of how they started, and he didn't know anything about construction, didn't know anything about building cabinets, kind of worked for a construction crew locally that was building houses years and years and years ago, and just said, can I help? And they said, we don't want any hired help. We're okay. He said, no, I don't want to get hired. I don't want pay. I want knowledge. I want to learn how to do this so I can do it on my own. Can I just work for you for free to gain the knowledge? Oh, shit, yeah. That's what they told him. Yeah, oh, in that case, yeah, man, come on. They showed him how to lay the blocks, put up roofs, put up walls, the whole 9 yards. Because he wanted to know how to do this back in his own community so he don't have to pay someone to do this. So, fast forward till now, he's like a professional contractor. But he doesn't do it for a living. He does do cabinets and stuff, sometimes for like some side money, that kind of thing. But he is a full-time pastor. And that's what he told me that day. I'm now a full-time pastor. It's what I do. So the other community members, they pitch in either financially or physically, labor-wise, to help with the garden, help build the buildings, you name it. They kind of have a choice a lot of times where you can go work, and when you come back, obviously you're living here on the property, and we all got bills, so you got to pitch in, obviously. So they got to pitch in some of their paycheck, obviously. I mean, I keep saying obviously, but it's obvious. You can't live somewhere for free. So they understand that. They want to give, and they do give. And that's how the community works. He's told me a million times of stories where he had invited people on the property, come on in, you're going to have a role doing this and that. Okay, yeah, it sounds good. And they get there, and they're not doing anything. They want to lounge around. Man, y'all work too much. I don't like the work. I don't like this. I don't like that. All right, take care. See you later. He said, if you had $1 for every time we had to kick somebody off the property, probably be rich right now. So I then became friends with this guy pretty quickly. Came back up by myself another time. He flew me up to do the wireless internet thing to get his church so that they could broadcast live from the church down to his house, which is where the internet connection is, and then relay it basically to the internet. So I ended up putting up a website for him, which is online-church.org, and every Sabbath and even Friday nights when he does Blog Talk Radio, I think he also broadcasts live there, video, and you can watch the service from the comfort of your own home if you're not nearby, which again, I know a lot of people are not nearby to Lafayette, Tennessee, but the beauty is you can look it up online and watch it. So I set that up for him. I just obviously said, can you pay my plane ticket? And he was like, oh, absolutely. And he did. I didn't want any money. I just felt like, hey, I want to help this guy out. I want to help this guy any way I can. So we became friends out of all this. I've only been up there probably a total of 4 times maybe, and he's come to my place once or twice down in Tampa, and was invited other people in the area to come see him and listen to him talk at a place he rented and at a hotel room, one of those little conference rooms or whatever. And I was a guest speaker and talked about finances, silver, that kind of stuff. So I mean, that was pretty cool, and how quickly my first, judgmental thoughts were absolutely, completely wrong. And I thought it was cult leader, definitely a cult leader. And whenever I would tell people back home, my friends and coworkers, oh, I went up to that guy, Pastor Dowell, I was telling you about, I went over there and helped him, oh, what place is that? And I explained it to him, oh, cult leader, sounds like a cult, I said, no, it may sound like a cult for some reason. I guess just because people are living together in a community, I guess that automatically means cult to you, but it is not a cult in any way, shape, or form that you've ever been taught the definition of a cult. Unless the definition of a cult is living in, peace and prosperity with other like-minded people that have their own houses, own wives, own husbands, and you're just a community. I mean, isn't that kind of what a housing development is? A place where you got to pay an HOA fee. You got your friends and neighbors nearby. I mean, it's the same thing, kind of, right? So, if that's a cult, then maybe it is a cult. But what I saw didn't ring the word cult in my head. At first, I thought it could be. Let me stay 2 hours and just check this place out. And then it turned into, we're going to stay the night tonight. I feel totally safe and comfortable. These people are good people. And man, would I not mind living around these people. This is great. So, the reason I'm doing this video is because I have firsthand, multiple times, knowledge going there. One time, as them not knowing me not knowing them. The next time, we knew each other better. Third, fourth time, okay, I know these people for sure. we're solid. So, I can tell you right now that the few videos that I saw on YouTube about Pastor Dowell, the cult leader, all that nonsense, these people don't have first-hand knowledge. I think there's only one person, I don't know if it was in a video, that had been there one single time and judged them, and now I've been there, they are a cult. Been there once, was in and out quickly, and all of a sudden they're a cult leader. I mean, you know, all of a sudden their word is, oh, they're a cult. I don't go to any church. I'm not really a religious kind of a person. I'm just not. So I have no vested interest whatsoever to sit here and stick up for Pastor Dowell. Except for now, he's my friend. But the truth is the truth. And if I had to come out here right now and say, you know what? I went over to Pastor Dowell's and it was a cult, blah, blah, blah. I would try to be as nice as I could by kind of skirting around that word and just trying to put it out a different way that, yeah, it's kind of cult-like, but not use that word. I'd try to do it as nice as possible because I'd feel bad. That's still my friend, and I know it doesn't look good in the world's eyes that this guy's kind of... That's how I'd probably approach it. But the good news is I don't have to do that because it's not. So I can definitely sit here and tell you 100% the truth. And as they say, the truth shall set you free. And these armchair quarterbacks, whatever you want to call them, on YouTube, never been there a day in their lives. They know exactly how he is. They don't know crap. How do you know something? Just like me, I said I know I'm going to go out to Tennessee and it's going to be better than the city life. I'm living the rural life. It's fantastic. I don't have to deal with the traffic. I don't have to deal with any kind of martial law crap if anything goes down. Because I'm out in the middle of nowhere, Tennessee. It's not like they're going to waste police resources and Department of Homeland Security resources to be out in the highway, whatever over here, when 5 cars go by every hour. I mean, they're not going to do it. And now that I'm out here experiencing the rural life and everything, I already did the video the other day. Wife can't handle it. I don't know if working at the restaurant was right for me. I'm starting to feel like I don't like it. And I miss the IT stuff. I miss having fast internet, decent internet, being able to do videos more. Again, just IT generally, I miss it. And this country life is not what I thought it would be, but I still had to experience it. And I still came out after saying all these things and all these other videos of how the country life's better, you got to get out there, it's the safest place, which it still will always be the safest place, trust me. Knowing all this, I still came out on YouTube and said, you know, guys, I hate to say this, but I'm moving back to Florida. A little too much culture shock. No one out here for us. It's just me and the wife and the kids. No friends really. Don't have the stuff we had at home. We don't have the good grocery stores. I'm surrounded by GMO sprayed crops. The GMO crops being sprayed with freaking the weed killer crap all over, miles and miles and miles of cropland around me, and as well as anywhere I drive down any highway in Tennessee, except for 1 or 2 places, is nasty crap, which is poison. It's just not working out for us. So I came on here. I didn't have to tell anybody, but I came back on YouTube to tell everybody, guys, I made a mistake. But if I did not learn it and know it and feel it and experience it, I would not know, and I would always be wanting to come out and do this. And if I don't get my way in that respect, I'm never going to know, and I'm never going to quit until I get out here. My wife knew this and said, well, I got to do this for Joe because he needs to experience this, and maybe we'll stay and we'll like it. But it didn't work out. So the reason I'm telling you this is because I had to come out here and tell you the truth. As much as it pained me to make that mistake, but I don't really call it a mistake because it's more or less an experience. It's a learning experience. And people got on my case about it. Oh, you hypocrite. No, I'm not a hypocrite. But I came out, got here to tell you the truth. So if I have the balls to do that and tell you the truth, trust me, I have the balls to tell you whether Pastor Dowell is a cult leader or not. And he's not. And 2.5 years later now that I've known this man since 2011 when I first met him, I can honestly say he is a phenomenal friend. Anybody that is friends with this man, you have a bonus in your life and that community, because he is with that community. And when I say him, I'm talking about him and the community, you know, because they're all the same. They're all just as caring and loving and friendly and nice, just as he is. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.